like to invite the Springer family to lead us on page 2 with the blessings over the candles and the fruit of the vine. Page 5 for the blessing of the fruit of the vine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagat. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Please turn to your handouts. On the first page of the handouts, there's a prayer for Israel's soldiers and a prayer for the state of Israel. And please join me as we say together both the prayers for those who are defending our people in the south and in the north of Israel, and for all the residents and the leaders of the state of Israel at this difficult moment. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless the soldiers of Israel Defense Forces and everyone who stands guards in order to protect our people. May the Holy One, blessed be God, protect them and save them from all troubles and afflictions, from all sickness and injury, and send blessing to all their endeavors. May the words of the prophets come to fruition through them. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. And each one shall sit under their vine and under their fig tree, and I shall be afraid. And let us say, Amen. A prayer for the state of Israel. Please join me. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your lights and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. And let us say Amen. And we're having this Shabbat also anniversary blessings. I don't know if anyone is celebrating their anniversary and this month. So if you are celebrating in the month of October your anniversary, please rise. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך אתכם, קרן וג'יי, אשר חוגגים את יום השנה ללכלותיהם. May it be God's will that you continue for many more years to live together in happiness, lighting each other's burdens, enhancing each other's joys. And let us all say together, Amen. And we want to sing for you, Shechianu. Turn now to page 20 to welcome the Sabbath bride as we sing together L'Chadodi. As we turn to page 28 for the Berlow. read together on page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, forcefully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ma'ariv Haravim. And we turn to page 34 for the calling of the Shema. Please be seated. We read together on page 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
These words which I command
page 40 to sing together Mi Chamocha. Turn now to the next page for Ashkiveinu. Page 43.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Ashkiveinu, Adonai Eloheinu. Ashkiveinu, Leshalom. Ve'amitenu, Shomreinu L'chaim. Ufros aleinu, Sukat Shlomecha. Ashkiveinu, Adonai Eloheinu. Ashkiveinu, Shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
And as we're asking for peace and love and shelter from life's storm, and we all read the news and feel darkness and hate around us, I want us all to remember that we're also surrounded by a lot of love and peace and friendship. All this week we were poured with love from our Christian neighbors. People came here to donate money through us to the State of Israel. These flowers are from Christ Church and about 6 different churches just today. asked for prayers for Israel so they can have it as part of their prayer services, and I've been sending them the same prayers that we've done. That includes, by the way, Southeast Christian, for those who really want to see the Messiah comes into our town, but they're not the only ones, and the affection and love that we're getting from many of the wonderful people of Louisville and of Kentucky is really overwhelming. I believe we're singing Yismechu. For the tefillah on page 46. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, God of our fathers and mothers, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, God of Sarah, God of Rebekah, God of Rachel, and God of Leah, the great, mighty, and awesome God, transcendent God, who bestows loving kindness, creates everything out of love, remembers the love of our fathers and mothers, and brings redemption to their children's children for the sake of the divine name. Sovereign deliverer, helper, and shield, blessed are you, Adonai, Sarah's helper, Abraham's shield. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. We read together on page 50. You are forever mighty, Adonai. You give life to all. You cause the wind to shift and rain to fall. You sustain life through love, giving life to all. Through great compassion, supporting the falling, healing the sick, freeing the captive, keeping faith with those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of mighty acts? Who resembles you, a sovereign who takes and gives life, causing deliverance to spring up and faithfully giving life to all? Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated as we turn to page 61 and we read together the prayer for shalom, for peace and wellness and wholeness. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
Thank you.
take a moment for a silent prayer. Misha Berach, the prayer for healing and strength and courage, is on page 253. As we name in our hearts those that we know that need healing and courage and strength, we think especially this Shabbat on our sisters and brothers, our families in the land of Israel, those who lost dear ones, those that their dear ones are missing, those who are wounded, battling for their lives, and everyone that their lives have been shattered. And we sing together, Misha Berach. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Every war in Israel has a name, and we still don't have a real name for this war. So Roni Rokeach from Kibbutz Kfar Aza, one of the two kibbutzim that were hit the most at this last Saturday, which was also Simchat Torah, offered a name. He said, let's call it Mi Bereshit, from the beginning. It happens to be also the name of the Torah portion of this week. And in Simchat Torah, in the holiday of Simchat Torah that fell on Shabbat, that's what we do. We finish reading the Torah, we finish Deuteronomy, and we begin Mi Bereshit. That's the name that he suggests. We go from strength to strength, and we go from the beginning. And this week, he wrote in his suggestion, every synagogue, every soldier that prays in every place around the world where Jewish communities are worried sick from anxiety for what's happening in Israel, everyone will begin Mi Bereshit. So let's call the war this name. And what he really meant is that we all need to go to the basics, to the beginning, to what makes us human, to what makes us decent, to the core of our humanity. And when you look at this Torah portion, it actually offers you insight to what is happening. I put some of the verses in the handout. The Torah begins with a verse that a lot of us, I think, remember more or less by heart, and it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and the earth was in chaos, and there was darkness over the deep. The Torah begins by saying that the world has a creator, and the world has a goal and an aim and a direction, and at the same time there's chaos and there's darkness. But right after that, the verse next to that says, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. So out of the chaos, out of the darkness in the creation comes the light. Our president, Joe Biden, in the most inspiring pro-Israeli touching speech in the history of the United States and Israel, did not stop mentioning that Israel is a light into the nation. This is, he said about the state of Israel, a source of light to everyone. Israel is a miracle, he said time and again, and reminded us that our duty is to bring more light into the world, and the light is supposed to overcome darkness. And then it says in our Torah portion, and God saw the light that it's good, and God separated, made a distinction between the light and the darkness. I read this week and I thought, our challenge from the beginning, from creation, is to know what is the difference between light and darkness, between good and evil. This is the huge challenge of human beings since the beginning of the world. And it's actually confusing. We can see that confuse between light and darkness even in our own fair city of Louisville, that at the same time that love poured towards Israel and towards the Jewish community, people also try to protest showing their love to the despicable, vicious terrorists that killed women and children and innocent people. And our Torah portion reminds us that painful truth that we shouldn't ever blur the differences between darkness and light, and we should never agree to sustain darkness. Later on in our Torah portion it says, and God created humanity in God's own image. In the image of God, God created it. Human beings were created in the image of God. Every person deserves life and dignity. And if you slaughter, if you murder another person, if you desecrate them, you also hurt the image of God, not only of the victim, but also the person who is the murderer. They are denying their own humanity. The Nobel writer Shai Agnon, who is the only Israeli writer that ever won the Nobel Prize for fiction, wrote after a vicious attack on the Jewish settlement that was pre-State of Israel. He wrote a beautiful article that he called it an opening to the Kaddish. And he looked at the words of the mourner's Kaddish, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbi. And he says, when somebody dies, we are trying to enhance the name of God in our presence. Because when somebody dies, something of the presence of God in our midst die. And then it says in our Torah portion, and God blessed them, and God told humanity, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and conquer it. We got this world in order to develop it, in order to bring good into the world. I visited this summer and last year friends in the area that is called Otef Aza, the surrounding part of Gaza, where the 21 kibbutzim and moshavim were attacked this past Saturday. You cannot think of an area on earth that presents more this commandment to make the world better. This is desert land that became an oasis. This is a place where Jewish communities, diverse and pluralistic people, created agriculture and industry and thriving and flourishing communities right next to a state that is controlled by a terrorist organization. Rabbi Professor Jonathan Sachs, who was also a Lord, I don't know what comes first, Lord, Rabbi, Professor, he had so many titles of blessed memory. He was the chief rabbi of Great Britain, and he wrote on this verse, God is calling us to be God's partners in creation. God is teaching us what we're supposed to do, but God never does the job for us. God doesn't act instead of us. God acts through us. And it says, Vayar Elohim ki tov. It says it, and God saw that it was good. It says it after every creation, except for one. When God creates the sea and the earth and the stars and the animals and the flowers and the trees, God says, this is good. One creation, God does not say, ki tov, humanity. And Rabbi Jonathan Sachs writes on that, at that moment, God created for human beings the freedom of choice. We're the only creature that has the right to choose whether we are going to be good or whether we are going to be evil. We have seen this week pure evil, the pinnacle of human evil. People who choose to deny the fact that they are created in the image of God. And as the Torah portion goes on, we have the story about the first child of human beings, Cain. He's the first human being that was born to a woman that was not created by God. And he's also the first murderer, as you all know, who kills a quarter of humanity, murders his own brother. And God says to Cain, the voice of the blood of your brother is shouting to me from the earth, teaching us that when a soul is murdered, when a soul is missing, the blood of that soul is shouting from the earth. We heard that shout, that loud shout of 1,200 souls that their bloods are shouting to us from the earth. We are part of a big story, and what is happening this week is a chapter, a horrible chapter in our history. And we are called to start from the beginning, to go to the basic assumption of human culture, of human civilization. And out of the chaos, out of the darkness, will come light. And hopefully it will be soon. Shabbat Shalom. And before we go to the anthem, my brother spoke to me twice today from Israel, and he asked me, I told him what I'm going to say. I practiced on him, and he said, you have to finish with something more cheerful. He said, you can't deliver such a thing. So he told me two things. The Israeli papers are filled with, Jews like to complain, like to kvetch. So all the papers are filled with the fact that soldiers were called drafted reservists and equipment was not ready for them. So he said to me, all his children were drafted. He said to me, Amit, which happens to be, has 4 sons who are drafted, but Amit just married his daughter, said to me, what's the real issue? He said, there was enough equipment to everyone who was supposed to come, but 20 extra people came, so there was not enough equipment because they came even though they were not called. And they said to the commander, you know us, even though we were not called, we want to be there. It's like, he said to me, you always say that as a rabbi, the best time is when there's not enough chairs in the synagogue. So he said, there's not enough stuff because so many people came. And then he told me that Amit's uncle, I don't know him because Amit is married to my niece, I don't know his side of the family, went all the way from Tel Aviv to Shlomi. Shlomi is on the border with Lebanon. Tel Aviv is in the center, and it's not exactly the right time right now to do such road trips in Israel. But he went to the place where they are manufacturing the equipment, and they wouldn't sell it to him because they said, look, we have a huge shipment that we're supposed to send to the American army. We told them forget about it. We told the German army forget about it. We're only manufacturing for the IDF. He said, that's for the IDF? He said, yes, but you're not the IDF. He sat there until they broke and they sold him. Now it's 5,000 shekels each. In Hebrew it's called a ceramic vest. I don't know it's the real bulletproof thing. So he paid 100,000 shekels, that's like $30,000. So everybody wanted to pitch in, and he said, no, that's my contribution. So the second time that my brother called me, I asked him, so what does he do? Like, is he a wealthy person? No, he's a high school teacher, but he refuses. He said, I'm doing it for my nephew. And my brother also sent me a video, a moment that he thought was very funny, that the unit of this summit made, and they said, the people of Israel were begging you, we need your help. You sent us so many shampoos, so many toothbrushes, so many soaps, so many underwear, so many undershirts, so much candy, so much snacks. We don't have room for the ammunition. This is overtaking everything. Please come and help us and take some. So he said to me, you have to share it with your congregation. Don't be too somber. Now we can do the anthem. Please rise. And the words of Atikva are in the handouts. Please be seated. We turn to page 293. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember especially Henry Berg Brousseau, David Sean Bailey, Paula Erdley, Pacey Davis, Florence Fine, Philip Gerstein, George Caviar, Teresa Magidson, David L. Waterman, Norton Waterman, Alan Baker, Max Bronstein, Bernice Kozlow, Annette Weingale, Vera Gross, Stanley Lowenstein, Yandel Okun, Ruth Okun, Elsie Weil, Celia Diamond, Roger Prezant, Ruth Sobel, Rona Dictor, David Flyshaker, Norma Perazelli, Benjamin Rubin, Dorothy Bass, Louis Brownstein, Lawrence Richard D., Ida England, Joshua Fink, Augusta Lang, David Margoles, Edward Sag, Sylvia Waller, Leon Blumenson, Ruth Gerstein, Bruce Harrow, Lois Joseph, Irving Kozlow, Sidney Dictor, Nettie Tostin, and in recent day, we grieve and mourn for more than 1,200 Israelis who are murdered by terrorists from the Hamas. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. With the blessed memories in our hearts, we rise as we turn to page 294 for the mourner's Chadash. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה על שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תוש בחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה, may the memory of our loved ones come to be a blessing and a benediction. Amen. Our closing song is Od Yavo Shalom, which is on page it's someplace here.
It's on 353 at the bottom.
Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please say Shabbat Shalom to at least one person you don't know and to everyone you know. And please enjoy the oneg. Shabbat Shalom.